and we're back. How is everybody doing today? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Excellent.
Great. Got a little bit of a cough. Excuse me if I cough once in a while, but I'm almost at the end of it.
Yeah, me too.
And let's see. I guess in personal life, I'll just share with everybody that I think it was like a week and a half ago or something. I had heard somebody say that they were going to do a 40-day fast leading up to 3/22, March 22nd. And I just contemplated it. And for me, fasting food-wise wasn't practical, but I wanted to cut something out. And I'm a regular beer drinker. And I decided to it would be a sacrifice for me to just cut out alcohol for the 40 days. It's going to be a fast. And at the same time, so I cut out the alcohol, and then all of a sudden my mental motivation was more. And I was thinking to myself, with the time that I have right now, what can I do to like improve my body and my health and stuff? And so you've been hitting it, working out real regular, and it's, so I'm watching you and I'm trying to keep up with you. And so I joined a gym, and I think it's been maybe 4 days that I've gone in a row, something like that. And what I'm noticing right now is I've got a super amount of energy, just like way more energy than I had before. And I just wanted to share that with everybody that if you're lacking energy, if you've got something, like alcohol or something, try cutting it out, doing a fast, and actually working out where you break a sweat for at least 30 minutes or something a day. You can throw in some other strength exercises as well. I saw an article online, maybe off a Drudge Report or something like that, that said that men that could do 40 push-ups put themselves in a class way above, totally separate from everybody else as far as heart risks and stuff like that. And I can't do 40 regular push-ups right now, and so I'm going to, and it starts with doing it every day. So I just wanted to try to give everybody a push towards get some exercise in.
Yeah, totally. I'm doing great. I've probably lost like 60, 70 pounds, man. I've gone down like 4 sizes, and it's still a battle. I'm not going to be able to achieve my goals. Like when I was 18, I could lose 100 pounds because I was a larger kid, and then I lost it. I could do it in 2-3 months tops, but I know that the pace is the most important thing. Like even as I've been not well, I've still been able to, get my mile exercise walk uphill with the dogs in the snow, plus ride the bike. But let's say today I just, went slow. I didn't push myself, but you get to this point where you start to feel, well, if you're lifting weights, what I'm doing now is bench pressing a heavy bag. Then I'm holding the heavy bag up in the air, and I'm lifting up both my shins and doing a double shin kick. That's as far as I get, but you really get an endorphin release in your muscles when you lift stuff. And everybody at home, if you want to be healthy mentally, I really strongly suggest that you get in 30 minutes of exercise a day, whether if it's just walking, whether if it's just standing up and sitting down on your couch. Just do a little bit at a time. And I might give up. I've been smoking a lot less marijuana. As you know, I don't drink. I do smoke marijuana. I'm thinking I might take a little break from that. I haven't been using as much because I'm not well. But I think that I might take a break from that completely and just, continue with the fast. What I'm trying to do is, besides pizza, I cut out all bread. So I think one of the things in our society is the wheat, and I think the wheat is not good for us. You know, maybe some people can eat it, some people can't, but the wheat, the soy, corn syrup, any of these types of things, um, they gotta be go. They gotta go. Like I don't eat chips. I don't eat chocolate bars. You know, I don't know if anybody at home does, but I guess the most important thing is that you get some sort of a sweat going, and that's. I guess you've done it 4 straight days now, right?
Yeah, and I plan on going every day, unless if there's something just doesn't allow me to. But just go every day, and the first couple were tough. Like it was a mental battle to actually go sign up and get on the machine. It was just like I fought myself, but once I did it, um, I know from experience, from all the construction work that I do. See, winters are tough for me. Um, I don't like working in the cold, so I crunch it in the summer, and winters I'm more off. So I'm just not getting the regular exercise routine that I do from my secular work. So it's been a long time since I've been a member of a gym, but I did it, and it's getting those first couple drops of sweat. Once you actually start dripping, you hit the point that you needed to hit, and then the longer you do that, the longer it takes to get those drops of sweat, and then all of a sudden you become like, my body's starting to like catch fire right now, where I'm all like, I want to go. I'm like ready for the second workout or something, just all jazzed up. Give me something to do.
Yeah, no, I got to that point too, but I went maybe 17, 14 days straight where I was playing hockey, walking the dogs, through the deep snow, mile every day, plus the 30-minute bike. The 30-minute bike and the walk wasn't really doing anything. And then I added hockey to it. And then 7 days leading up to last Saturday, I didn't eat anything but soup. And day 5, I had a steak, and then back to the soup and salad. And I've continued to eat the salad, and I've just added like grilled chicken to my diet. So, I pushed myself to the absolute max, and I'm not saying that's why I got the cold. I just think that we've had extremely cold weather, and I've had a few issues with the heat here, and I'm not going to blame it. I might have pushed myself a little bit too hard because I'm sort of an extremist, but I thrive on the routine. Once I get into my routine, I can accomplish just about anything, and so can anybody on the other side of the screen. You guys are just as capable as Jason and I hope we can continue to improve our lives and to help you guys improve your lives too. Cause wow, what troubled times we're living in. I'm really thankful that, another thing I wanted to point out about this video that I was playing in the intro, there is a little bit of barrel distortion due to the GoPro and to the way that the window is. The fuselage of the plane is curved. So everything is curved. So it does give you a slight dip. But let's be honest here. If I'm at 35,000 feet, right, and I'm looking out on the horizon here, you guys can see there's these clouds, then there's lower clouds. There might even be lower clouds below those clouds. Do you really think if you lived on a spinning ball that these clouds here on the horizon line would be up in the air like this? Would they not be starting to go behind the curve? Let's be honest here.
Yeah, it's got to be some distance. The calculations that I had done before, as far as if you're up at like 35,000 feet, I believe it's 250 miles to the horizon. And so, yeah, those higher clouds, especially the ones out where the horizon is, should be, 150, 175, 200 miles, right?
It should have a curve. It should be the Earth is only 25,000 miles around, guys. It's not big. Like Owen Benjamin,
the radius 3959. That's
yes. Like Owen Benjamin was going on today about how his mind can't comprehend large things, and he's saying or small things. And I'm like, don't. The Earth isn't that large, man. If it really was that large, they wouldn't have been able to, contain. So everybody wants to say that nobody sailed around the Earth. Well, there were a lot of people that figured out how to build boats and how to sail around the Earth. They went around and investigated. That's how the elites ended up getting the territories that they have. I would like for there to be more land personally, but I just don't bank on it. I think there are more places that they don't share with us, but I don't think outside of the map. I don't really think that there's going to be.
Well, they call us the Goyim for a reason, right? Because we are so boxed in mentally by them that we can't see beyond the vision of reality that they've spoon-fed to us all along. So the average person that's not part of the system, that's not the Freemason, the Rosicrucian, the Knights Templar, the Knights of this, Knights of that, or whatever, the average working Joe that's not a Satanist, they're not the people that own yachts and all of a sudden like just jump in their yacht and head to another continent, and you're heading towards the continent, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, there's land ahead, but the maps don't have any land. What is? And then there's all these resorts and stuff around it. People the average Joe doesn't generally set out on those types of trips, especially to obscure places, the South Pacific. And
some people haven't even left their city their entire lives, right? So let's get through some of these rapid links. This is Jesse Smollett. I was really, really saddened to find out today that he was in the Mighty Ducks because it's a fond memory. I really like those movies. I played hockey. I was their age when the movie came out, pretty much. I have a feeling that this guy might be a victim. He might be a super victim that's inflicted all types of horrors that, I, as a kid growing up in Canada, had nothing to do with. And this kid growing up in Hollywood like this,
child stars, right?
Child stars. They're the ones that the parents leave with the agents, and the things happen, and the parents know too. That's the scariest part. Their parents literally know what goes on. But I wanted to bring this up because everybody's just, this guy's done a real big mistake, and whatever he's done, apparently he's being charged now with a crime, basically obstruction, right? Because he lied. I don't know. There's another name for that.
Yeah, falsifying a police report or something.
Yeah, when you lie like that, it doesn't. It's not good on your credibility. But I'm gonna pray for him, and at the end of the day, he really has exposed hate crime hoaxes. So he's done a actual good thing.
There's so many different ways it could be played. There's the child star where he could just be super mentally screwed up. There's somebody like Trump strategically, you could buy a guy to do something like this that comes in and absolutely destroys the left by having, somebody on the left come out and hoax a hate crime. So there's, who knows which way this was actually played, but yeah, hopefully Yahawah helps this guy out.
Yeah, I want to believe that it was probably a Trump plan to do this because of the way that it all went down. Like, I can't see someone in the left doing this, and like Cory Booker and all these people just jumped on it because Trump knew that they would, right? Who would write the narrative that he wrote, right? On the coldest night. It's just bad. Maybe we'll find out more. There was this interesting footage that I wanted to show people. Never seen a sun look like a candle flame. I don't know if this is CGI or not, but I just wanted to show people. Imagine you've seen that in the sky.
I've seen a lot of CGI, and this actually has the possibility of being a real phenomenon, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but
yeah, we don't know. Just thought it was interesting to share with everybody. I'll probably turn the screen share over to you soon, but I wanted to bring up Owen Benjamin today took a shot at simulation theory. He said just after he actually finally verified David Weiss as deep inside the rabbit's hole bear.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
I know. But he did. And right after that, he took a shot at simulation theory and said anyone that's trying to say that Jesus was like an admin that came into the simulation. He's like, you guys are just trying to be smart. So I thought it was really weird. I'm constantly watching this guy because he does do a lot of really constructive, mind sweeping. He does, but my gut feeling tells me that he was like, Bob Nodell, all these people he sees on YouTube, and he's like, I can fix this. Send me in. That's what I see. His agenda is a long play, and he is helping people in a way that teaching them to homestead, raise your own farm. These are super important things, right?
Yeah, no, those are good messages. Nothing wrong with that. But like
read the Bible, he says, pray.
You and I have always said that sometimes shills are our best source of information because they got to put out, 50, 75, 85, 90%. It depends on the different shills out there. They got to run with a whole bunch of truth before they spin something. If they have a sharp audience.
The greater you can build up credibility with your viewers, the larger you can swindle them, right? You have to be all. And so Mr. Cheswick here brings up the question, if flat earth is being censored, why is it that when you search Owen Benjamin or flat earth, you get Owen Benjamin comes up bang above all the other astroturf? Like nobody in the flat earth has had this since maybe ODD used to have this type of power.
Right? That's huge. That's huge. So I mean, just so everybody, let's rewind, slow down, bang the bell a couple of times. How does he get to the top of YouTube for a live hangout? Well, not just a live hangout. You said for flat earth.
Yeah, he put flat earth in his title, but I think he's basically hit a plateau with his flat earthing. He's not talking about anything else except the exact same things that he's reiterating every single stream, that we never went to the moon, and it's hard to prove that we live on a ball. And he keeps saying, I do believe we live in a sphere, but he's like, I could be suffering under mind control. He does it in such an honest way. But really, he's not going deeper into the topic. And he's going to have probably someone like David Weiss or Stinky Cash, a Jew, both Ashkenazi Jews, or I don't know if they're Ashkenazi, but these are the guys that get in with Owen Benjamin, and he does say a lot of anti-Semitic stuff. Not anti-Semitic, but he questions the Jews. But then on the other side of his mouth, he says he's a quarter Jew and that, his friends are Jews.
So it is a Jew club.
Yes, and obviously that's how he's being supported. I don't believe his entire bear network is. There are people there, but so the thing for me is he is completely being built up by YouTube, whereas someone like Jason and I, who preach the gospel, who are straight up, no lies, exposing the lies and deception. We're not just telling you to garden. We're actually showing you what the mind control is that people are doing. We're not using any wizardry. This guy here gets smashed up, top of the search results, right? And then when you do a little research on the guy, like look at this picture.
During a time period where YouTube says no more flat earth, right?
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since they enacted the algorithm, right? You look here on the bad picture with the devil horns. He still continues to do it to this day, and he's been told time and time again not to do the 666 or the devil horns. He just does it, but apparently. So Owen Benjamin, his name isn't Benjamin. He was born to John Kerr Smith and Jean Troy Smith. Why was his name be Benjamin?
Yeah, it's a stage name. He's an actor.
But he's using a Jewish name?
Yeah, he's a Jew.
Oh, his parents' last name is Smith. Is it Smithenberg? No, wait, not all Bergs are Jews. Yeah. Smithenstein? No. But so they're both professors at State University of New York. And he attended college at the State of New York as well. And that's where he got his job on TV. So, today he was bringing up the fact that when you get up high in the atmosphere, there's less particles in the air, he said. And he was starting to justify that that's how the infinite vacuum of space is separated from the earth. And he was saying all he needs to do is understand gravity, and he would be able to explain the rest. That's where he's at with the flat earth.
Well, if he's in the deep inside the rabbit hole crew, he's going to be exactly like the Globebusters, and it's going to be 3 years later, and you're going to hear him saying the exact same stuff.
We never went to the moon, blah, 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 the exact same stuff, yes.
I might be crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm not crazy. But I'm still praying for Owen, and I'm gonna use a shill as much as I can. If I hear him, I haven't heard anything yet that was worthy of being put into a video. Let's move on past Owen. Let's talk about the largest shill in the flat earth, who is the guy that was the first one to really bring it out on TV in the post 2000 era. It's Math Powerland. He himself, this is his page, the NASA channel, or he likes to say the NASA canal because he's French Jesuit, self-admitted.
Jesuit.
Yeah, he calls himself a wizard. Now, I've brought this up before, but he's literally bringing it up and showing you he's a Jesuit. He's a wizard.
Doing the Christ pose.
Doing the Christ crucifixion, they call it, the crucifixion pose. And when you look down, so what he's been doing, because Jason and I have been absolutely ripping the Behind the Curve documentary to shreds, and it's going to get much, much worse for everybody on that team. I'm not going to get into the details as of right yet, but you can clearly see that Powerland has been doing nothing but talk about Behind the Curve. He was pretending that he was going to live stream it. Then he said he didn't. He said he got a strike. They shut his YouTube, that he's still on the YouTube page as he's saying all this stuff. So he's not exposing anything in the documentary whatsoever.
His wizardry is not working well, is it?
No, it's really, really poor wizardry. Let's hear this clip for a second. I'm just interested.
A righteous infliction of...
There's Math painting satanic symbols on the ground here.
Why would you approve to be in a documentary that...
So this was in Toronto. This was after the first staging of the documentary, the first ever public viewing. And right after the documentary was done airing, this guy here in the crowd ran over to Mark and Patricia. Look at this.
Why would you approve to be in a documentary that doesn't really support
the word?
If walking out of here, if I didn't research it ahead of time, if I still, and I did, believe the Earth was a globe. Sure, listen, I don't even know if it is flat. Whatever. Either way,
I like what you
I would
said.
leave this theater.
I like what you said, she said.
I like what you said.
Well,
This is probably a staged piece as well, but
I think this was a concerned flat earther.
oh, okay.
It's not, doesn't really seem like something they would want. Well, if they want to put it in your face.
Well, they had to. They knew that they totally sold out flat Earth, so they had to. What is that? Limited hangout. They have to.
Well, no, it's more predictive programming. Before the documentary was ever released, we all learned about this, so we were already accepting that there was something going on with it. Well, here it is.
I don't even know if it is flat. Whatever. Either way,
I like what you
I would
said.
leave this theater thinking, oh,
That was a farce.
15-degree movement of the Earth and this laser experiment. Of course, it's a globe.
Boom, right there. Jaron and Bob did the two most ridiculous experiments. We've completely debunked them. Jaron had a board with a hole in it, and they were filming, and they were saying that someone was going to shine a light through the board, and if the Earth was curved, he was going to have to hold the light over his head. Well, what they didn't have was two cameras live, synced up, showing the guy at the other end. All they do is, I can't see it. I can't see it. Jaron acts stupid. And then the guy goes like this. You can literally see the light go like this. He then puts the light up so it can be seen. And he asks him, how high is it? The whole entire thing was the stupidest thing. He was shooting across a valley where there was trees in the middle of the shot. Okay. Bob has an experiment that everyone has been seeing. Everyone knows now. He literally said they proved the earth was moving 15 degrees drift on the, what did he call it? Interferometer results. So we asked Bob for the evidence. He doesn't have any evidence, but yet it made it into the documentary, and people are going home from this on Netflix, and they're thinking, of course it's a globe.
Oh, you are going to love this clip that I want to run by you.
Let's do it.
You're going to love it. All right, everybody, tell all your friends, pay attention. We're going to go over something Nathan Thompson just, he did a live on Facebook, and this should be interesting.
A super legendary looming hyena perspective channel. How could Bob have any credibility, Bob or Jaron? That's what I have to ask you, because you're a long time in the community. How does anybody listen to anything that any of these people say? It absolutely blows my mind. And super hi to Yahawah's daughter. Hope your face is healed up. We all prayed for you, and we will be getting to the Strange Truth Project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm new to Facebook, everybody. Oddly enough, I've got over 2,000 friends now. And so I'm just learning it. And there's, I guess, this chat thing on when live streams. So I'm just learning all that. I got a couple comments in, so you'll see those. But
look at his gear.
Yeah,
wow, he's got some nice gear.
Tell me when, whenever you want to stop. And
I feel like you've got something good here.
And we'll take it apart, and I want to publish this for Nathan tomorrow.
Great.
So try and be like that.
Try to be like that. And repent and get baptized in the name of Jesus.
And
Acts 2:38.
And that's Ashlyn says, repent and get baptized.
You won't learn that at church.
That's what the Bible says too. And you won't learn about a flat earth at church either. But
Nope.
we got a dome above our head. God stop the sun and
No, there's no dome above our head. And just pay attention to his body language as he's sharing this stuff.
Joshua to stop the day. He also says it's immovable over and over again. He says in the last days, all the stars are going to fall from heaven.
Above nothing.
It says all the stars are going to, yeah. Well, a globe hangs on nothing.
What do you mean a globe hangs over nothing?
Well,
it's blasting through space.
Yeah, that's not
blasting
hanging.
through space. It's not hanging.
Yeah,
It's
that's what it says.
blasting.
Well, it says the Earth isn't hanging on anything either. The globe.
So he's going to sit here. He's going to sit here and go into a battle with her, and
now he's bringing up ball earth proof.
Yeah.
Right. That was backhandedly. So, we haven't specifically looked at that scripture and done the etymology and the transliteration backwards engineering, but I'm going to think that it's a statement that there is nothing in this reality outside of the earth. There's nothing, it's hard for me to put into words, but we have to do a better search on that. But I guarantee you, it doesn't mean that we live on a spinning ball.
Well, he's trying to open up the shadow of doubt that the scriptures could support that.
Get back
It's not hanging on anything.
Yeah.
It's not like a chandelier. So to say the Bible says it's not hanging on anything, it works on both models. It works on both models. So.
Hangs above nothing. Hanging and blasting are two totally different things.
Hanging and blasting. So also it says in the last days everyone's going to be forced to take a mark. If you ever get asked to take a mark, definitely don't do that. Whatever you do.
Just say no.
Just say no to the mark. What else we gotta say? You can lead a globe earth or the water, but you can't make them
you'll
think.
see which side
Once
he's
you go
saying
flat,
it from.
you never go back.
Add your friends.
I already said that. Shout out some channels real quick. Shout out West Blaze Music. Shout out Amber Music, AmberPlasterMusic.com. Shout out Celebrate Truth on YouTube, ODD on YouTube.
All right, so pay attention to. We're going to go through Celebrate Truth and ODD tonight. So he's giving shout outs to them.
Fired for Truth, Flat Earth Truth, Fired for Truth, Nate Wolf, flatearthdoctrine.com. Check him out. Nate
He's not
Roberts,
that good here.
And check out Dean Odell's website.
Look at his
Check
smiles.
out Rob Skiba.
Rob Skiba.
Check out.
On Truth Frequency Radio, Rob Skiba.
Yeah, he's not really banging through this like he's got his mallet with his ping pong balls here. He's fumbling.
Just wait, it's because he's getting to some names that he really doesn't want to have to say.
But Patricia Steer. Check.
Wow.
Did you listen to him again?
But Patricia Steer. Check out Patricia Steer. Check out Mark Sargent. Yeah, they're all good. I love them.
They're all good.
I'm on a roll right now. Check out Quasi Luminous.
Whoa. What?
Uh-huh.
He's so that guy thinks he's Satan.
Yes. Yes.
Well, is this guy high? What's he doing?
No, he's showing which team he's on. He's got the Fashis, all right? And listen, every one of the channels that he listed is one of these sellout channels. And then he makes sure to throw in Quasi, and that's the one that he really perks up for.
It's crazy.
Who else we got? Check out
That's the guy who started Blood Over
Buster.
Intent. Just so
Yeah,
people know.
Yeah, he's the Blood Over Intent guy.
Oh, your comment there. Way to argue for the globe.
See, I screwed up though. I should have scrolled this more, but I catch up to it later.
for sure. I love you guys, dude. You guys do a good job in here. I've been waking up to 200-300 pending member requests every single day. So keep up the good work. Keep adding your friends. Shout out Netflix. I want to clue you in real quick to what happened on Netflix, guys.
Just
Here we
wait.
go.
Here we go.
They made it look like he failed a curvature experiment. Jaron did. But what happened is
Jaron made it look like that. Jaron made it. Oh, every word, every bit of the documentary was done by those people. Like, I'm so sick and tired of hearing people say they made it look. They only made it look the way you guys presented it. Like, how stupid are people?
There's multiple takes over and over and over. The scenes were set up.
I hope I get to see this guy in person one day. I really, really do. I pray to Yahawah that I get to confront this guy in person, and we can talk and see who has what in the brain. Because I'm coming for this guy spiritually, not physically. I don't advocate any fighting ever.
But mentally tear him to shreds.
Yes.
Jaron did. But what happened is his optical sight had heated up because of the laser somehow. Fused to the laser and wasn't working at all. And they didn't know this until after they did the experiment. But
his optical sight had fused to the laser is the story now.
Where's the footage of that? Evidence. I'm here for evidence.
Let's see it.
It was failed experiment because of equipment failure, not because of curvature. And they made it look like, oh, that's interesting. Like, oh, the Earth curved. Oh, we messed that up. Oh, that's not what happened. It's editing trickery.
No, that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Don't lie to me, man.
Oh, just wait.
I wasn't born yesterday.
Let's see where he takes this.
When you watch Behind the Curve, know that they're going to edit and trick you, because nobody should be expecting a good Flat Earth documentary to get into Netflix or into the mainstream media.
We're gonna talk about a good Flat Earth documentary. There is one out there. It is the most watched Flat Earth documentary of all of them.
By a lot.
Not going to happen. They can't. They won't allow it to happen. And I'm actually glad that Daniel threw in that twist where it made it look like we found curvature, and
That's mind
Bob was
control.
confused.
It is
mind control. Look at the symbol.
Oh, just wait. He goes wild with them.
By this ring laser, and I'll get that in a second.
Wasn't a ring laser, it was an interferometer.
we gotta see what is said in the video again. I think they in the video call it a ring laser gyro.
But it wasn't interferometer, right? You heard him. You're an idiot, Ronnie. You don't know what an interferometer is.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go by what was said in the documentary, because the documentary, right?
Well, that's why I said to him, I work with spinning lasers, right? They don't drift. Ever.
That in there where it made it look like we debunked ourselves and stuff. That will get it on Netflix. But if they made it look like,
wow, so they purposely did that to get the video aired on Netflix. That's what he's saying.
Yes.
What a schmuck.
And he's glad. He's all for this.
He's a shabazz. That's what he is.
Well, he's out to destroy flat Earth.
Yeah, he has been since day one. That's what we've been saying. This is just proof.
He's an admin of the largest Facebook. And,
it's his page. His group.
Yeah, and it's controlled, and just wait.
oh, we did the curvature experiment, it's flat. Oh, the ring laser, we figured it out. It was flat, stationary. That would have never got on Netflix. So I'm almost happy that he spun it and put his little... So just like this. What Satan intended for bad, God uses for good.
Wow. Wow.
That's what's going to happen right now, buddy.
So even though they wanted to hide the truth, it wasn't going to happen. Ain't happening. So that's what's happened with Jaren's experiment. Bob, he had a ring his friend actually purchased fiber optic gyro. He misspoke in the behind the curve video and said ring laser. It was not a ring laser gyroscope. It's fiber optic. Both are optically based.
Look at all these mistakes. We had the equipment malfunction with the laser. They didn't say the right equipment in the documentary. Look at all these excuses just pouring out.
So when it detected movement, it was detecting one of two things: the movement of Earth under the sky, or stationary Earth with the movement of sky above it. It could be interpreted either way.
How can you measure? How can I set a measuring device up fastened to the Earth to measure the sky? It's like, how retarded are these people? I feel like I'm in a bad dream with the flat Earth here. It's got to be like, wake me up, please, somebody.
The only way their interferometer could have been measuring the motion of the sky is if it was attached to one of the luminaries. That's the only way. It would have to literally be attached to the luminary to be measuring sky rotation. That's the reason why all the globers are mocking the flat earthers, because Bob had this interferometer attached to Earth and says it's moving 15 degrees. You can't say it's the sky unless if it's actually attached to the sky.
The data, it's totally 100% inconclusive. You have to follow it up. Now, I'm not saying it's a useless experiment. It's very important to do, but you have to follow it up with a secondary experiment.
Baphomet's
Aries failure. He put water
he gets
in the
into some
telescope,
crazy ones.
determined that it was the stars that was actually moving, not the Earth. And then that was followed up with a Sagnac experiment, Sagnac interferometer.
They didn't do any of that.
I mean, so many things.
Look at these
So
tangents.
Bob did not.
All right,
debunk
here we go.
Flat Earth. Jaren did not debunk.
What is that?
That's a weird one.
Who does that one?
I don't know.
That's the most distinct I've seen out of all of them.
Looks like a Baphomet character.
He's really popping that. I'm curious what that one is.
Flat Earth.
He goes back to it.
Anyone saying that I mean, it's literally disinformation, and we don't allow disinformation in the group.
Don't let Jason and Ronnie talk then.
So do you get it?
Yeah, he's saying that anyone who says anything else is disinformation.
And they're going to be blocked now in the group. He's going to talk to all of his
He said
moderators.
block. It's not about it used to be if you swear or if you troll somebody, you were kicked out. But if you had a good argument, he said you'd never be booted, right?
But now if you say anything negative about Bob and Jaron, not allowed.
Wow. It reminds me of a certain
So
tribe.
if you're saying that, moderators, I'm going to talk to moderators tonight, let them know those people are going to take a break until they can learn that Jaron had failed equipment and Bob's experiment was inconclusive. And here's the thing.
This is such a disaster for them.
Until they learn. You were going to be timed out or blocked or whatever they do on Facebook.
What a disaster, man. How is this going?
Until they learn.
Because you have to understand that Jaron made a mistake and Bob didn't have the evidence, but
I love those guys. And a big shout out to Quasi Luminous.
wow.
We shouldn't believe anyone about the shape of the earth. So even if Jaron proves curvature or thinks he proved curvature, what are we just going to hang up the freaking jersey? Oh, well, don't need to know the shape
Jaron did
anymore.
not prove curvature.
Jaron proved it.
He didn't prove curvature.
He didn't prove nothing.
He has never had a single test that's ever concluded anything. Every single one's always been a failure.
And you know what? I've been a part of Team Flat Earth since day one, just about, and I live streamed and supported Jaron before he was big. I have all of that stuff documented on his Ustream and as well on I had a cool Supertramp song. I thought this was going to be great. He's doing a laser experiment, and then all of a sudden he did the exact same crap that he pulled in the documentary. It was I just can't see. The beam was too big, he said. The beam ended up being 37 feet above, right? So that it was like a curvature, but nobody really caught on to it. And then he tried the experiment again, and he ended up just shining a flashlight on a box. And then somebody on the cross, the 3 point something miles away, zoomed in on the light that he was shining on a box. Now, people have done many tests, right, at the shoreline, and we can see the distance to the horizon, and then as anything goes past our horizon, it does start to disappear from the bottom up. But there is absolutely no curving and no sinking. It's just the way that our eyes work when we look at things. Everything, because the horizon line meets in the center of our eyes. So if you go up a hill and you're near a lake or an ocean, that horizon line of the water line rises up, and it is so undeniably flat when you're up high looking out across water. So, the fact that Jaron tried to do some, shine your light through the hole, it was just the most retarded experiment that ever could be done. So Nathan is saying that we had to do this to get the documentary on Netflix. Can you believe that he's admitting to it?
Mm-hmm. Of course, he was a star in it as well, right?
Yep.
And I'm sure he'll say that he didn't get paid. Nobody got paid anything, right?
No, it was all free.
All free. That's what they say.
And Jaron, when we pushed Jaron for the evidence after this supposed experiment that he did before the documentary, he said he didn't film it, and they had all the film. He didn't even know what they filmed. Right? Jaron says, I don't know. They filmed. He didn't even have what Jason and I had laid down a year before this was when you want to try to do something as proof, you need to be live streaming. You need to have multiple angles of both attempts. You have to document your experiment or it's not verifiable. We hold the same skepticism up to the globe earth, but we're going to give Jaron and Bob just free passes. How can people in the flat earth community think they're awake or that they have any, how can they, it's beyond my comprehension. I do believe globe earthers are suffering from the Dunning-Kruger, because for the Earth to be spinning, it's off to the factor of 120 to the decimal. That's how much you have to mix the math around to get a reality with the spinning ball Earth. So they truly believe they can understand things that are way more vast than they could ever imagine. But how someone could be awake to the flat Earth and the Federal Reserve, but yet Nathan Thompson, Bob, and Jaron are able to pull the wool over people's eyes. How is it not a flood of people messaging these people, just tearing them apart? I have no idea why nobody stands up to them.
Well, it's time. It's time. I'm going to keep squawking until it happens, too.
For me, like, what? When was that ever the case? Like, go do your own experiments. Have your own list of experiments. Cold moonlight.
Good one.
Stars don't intersect the marine horizon.
Good one.
Boats don't disappear over the horizon.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And, well, some people say that the moonlight thing isn't true either. You haven't conducted the experiment, have you? Because I've heard it debunked and I've heard it proven. I don't think that's a conclusive one. I know I feel colder in the moonlight than in the shade in the summer. I've tested that myself. I can physically verify that.
I did do it once, but it wasn't a large enough difference for me to feel confident in saying that it's confirmed. So I gotta repeat the experiment a couple more times.
Okay, stars intersecting the marine horizon line. How about, Nathan? You look at the actual path of the stars in the sky. I don't want to call him a moron or an idiot, because I don't really, he thinks of himself as very intelligent, but how can he not see that star of sky of stars is parallel to his view? It's not above his head flat. It's perpendicular to the plane of the Earth. It's at a 90-degree axis, the sky.
Yeah,
It's
watch where they rise in the east. Watch them go up and over your head, and watch them come down and set in the west.
They're not spinning above your head, circling. We've extensively proven that. But this guy here is trying to tell you, because when he does his star trail, there's a little gap from where the stars rise out of the ocean. But I haven't seen his proof of it. He talks about it, but where's the video? Maybe I need to go through his channel.
They do seem to disappear at just above the horizon. They don't like go all the way down. The moon does the same thing when you have those day moons that are
sure,
disappearing.
The sun has done that for me too. I've had a sunset 15 degrees in the sky. When I asked people, I was filming it. I said, are you guys used to seeing the sun set like that? I've seen these types of things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, he's completely trying to make you think that the sun and the moon and the stars are doing circles above your head when they're not.
Well, he's gonna do what the Satanists always do. Jaron does this. He's putting it off on you to do a bunch of research. And this is how Satanists divest themselves of the responsibility, because they can say, I told you, you were just too dumb to do it, or too lazy. Right. So,
what he's done is he's back engineered all the things that he could possibly try to skew towards you thinking the AE mapping model is possible. That's the same thing David Weiss does, and the same thing Jaron does.
Yeah, they're all leading.
There's pop bottle glass refraction and all this biorefringence and light bending and all this crap. It's all
teacup reflections and
caustic cup, right? Which is actually concave Earth theory, right? Which I don't know why anybody hasn't noticed, but literally Globusters FE Core has come out and said they've measured the ground in Colorado and it's concave, right?
They have said that.
I'm going to guess that there's a dip in the land there. So, all I need is the actual location. And just like with Enslaved by No Media, we can show people topographically that the oceans are level, right? Google Earth itself destroys the ball Earth. There's no drop. When you go across the ocean, it's level. When you get to the land, it rises up and lowers and rises and lowers and rises and lowers and rises and lowers. And when you get to the other side of that land body, anywhere on the map, it goes back to the same sea level as the other side of the land. And then you go across the water and the elevation will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, flat. And then you'll get to another body of land and you'll go up again. And sometimes it goes up and down. Sometimes it goes west down. Sometimes it goes north down. The only way that you can verifiably prove that you live on a flat Earth is at an ocean shoreline or a lake, if it was a large enough lake, and a water level experiment. That's the only way you can do it. You can dig 2 posts or 3 posts or 4 posts in the ground, run the water level, fill it up with water, hold it up to the post, and measure the height with, you could transit it from the in between each spot now with another measuring tool. This is the only way. You can't prove the earth is flat from a mountain range. You know how ridiculous that sounds? I don't even know why I have to say these things, but I truly hope that my voice is landed with some interesting people out there that are truly seeking the truth, because that is my goal. I don't want anything else from this life. I don't want money. I don't want fame. I don't want to be on Netflix. I want to share the truth with as many people as possible for free, as quick as possible. But these agents, it's beyond my understanding. Why do I not see hundreds of videos exposing, hey, wait a minute, we are flat earthers and Bob and Jaron don't speak for us? I haven't seen any of it. These guys did the most ridiculous experiments you could ever imagine. No evidence, no documentation, no live stream, nothing. Bob didn't even have one picture. And that experiment that Bob did is like Nobel Peace Prize. He proved the earth has a 15-degree drift. There's no evidence for it. I'm hitting a wall because I don't see other.
I wonder if there's a liability on the part of the documentary for promoting that experiment without there being any evidence. We're not going to go away on this topic. This is going to be a big deal.
It's going to get worse.
Oh yeah.
Laser experiments, infrared tests, even just reflection videos, showing people the reflection and talking about it will get people to open their mind. So I love you guys. Keep up the solid work. And pray for me, and pray for Ashlyn, and pray for all the other speakers and people.
That's a certain sign right there.
Well, I haven't figured that one out yet. It looks like a Baphomet.
That one.
And pray for Ashlyn, and pray for all the other speakers.
It's not an accident there. That
question everything. Have safe flights. Pray for the group. A lot of protection around it, that it never goes anywhere, and we're always here to be able to share information freely, because it's a beautiful thing being around you guys and everyone just contributing and feeding off each other and kind of having like a collective consciousness that is all rising together. So
collective consciousness, right?
It's rising together.
Rising together.
What does it say on his shirt? NASA, you back? Something.
I don't know. Yeah, where he's like top moderator in the largest flat Earth group, and all behind this hit piece mockumentary, and now if you say anything bad about anybody in the documentary, you're going to be blocked or timed out until you learn that Jaron's laser malfunctioned. And what are you supposed to learn about Bob saying the Earth rotated 15 degrees? Oh, that it's that he had it attached to the luminaries, right?
How?
What his was it zero to grass, or they must have hung it from one of the luminaries?
Well, they shot a pin. They used one of those extended Hilti guns with they shoot pins and it leaves the hanger down.
Yeah,
they probably shot one of those and then attached the hanger to something. There is no drift. Listen, if there was a drift, skydiving would not be what it is today, right? People can pinpoint their landing. Like there's Dan Pratt did an interesting video with raindrops, right? Have you seen the rain falling at an angle due to the earth spinning to the east, right? The earth is spinning to the east. No, we've never. It's so ridiculous, man. This guy here.
Just wait to see how he ends this. This just becomes more confirmation for me that the evilness behind these words.
Add your friends to the group. Don't worry about it if they don't figure it out. I won't be offended if you add a globehead to the group.
Yeah, add all your globehead friends, as many as you can. He's into that.
I can't break through their programming. but maybe it'll work the second time or the third time. Third time's a charm. So, with that being said, you guys keep it flat. Got it.
Positive.
Look at that.
Wow. Is that the flat Earth Bitcoin?
That's like a necklace you get for being a high priest in the New World Order.
Flat. God is love. I love you guys. Peace out.
God is love. See, I'm starting to take issue with that. I'm gonna have to get that video out that I'm started working on regarding God and love. Because Satanists may have flipped it, everybody. There's a high likelihood with the research that's been done already. So thank you, brother, for putting your input on that. And I think with that,
I got one more thing before we move.
go ahead.
Yeah, this is where Bob, I think, says
or off during your test.
It was on.
Yes, it was on. And we are of the opinion that that is the exact reason why we got this result. Because if you're compensating for curve while you're actually trying to look for it,
then you're going to get convex or concave. So let's release to the flat earth community that FE core has proved that the earth is concave because they left the switch on that, that takes into account for the curvature of the earth on the surveying equipment. You see the nonsense in all this? And these people are trying to pass themselves off as highly intelligent people within the flat earth community. They're making a mockery of this flat earth community.
that's probably not the right method to do it. So on the next test that we're going to do, we're going to shut all those features off. No corrections for refraction, no corrections for curvature. So we actually have a level line which we can compare the Jupiter.
They had the button on.
yeah,
right?
the curvature button.
Curvature button. That's the these guys are so stupid, man. They're not even like oh my.
Listen a little bit more.
Am I saying it right, Chris?
He's asking if he's saying it right because none of these guys are freaking surveyors. None of them have a surveying license or a career in surveying. Mike admits he's never done it. But yet they're trying to pass themselves off as experts in developing a technique how to use surveying equipment to detect curvature or the lack of it. Just total nonsense.
Yes, and it's also possible that that is the reason why we got these concave measurements, this correction in the DD itself.
Yes, yeah, I'm of the same opinion, but I'm not sure about that. But I think that's
You either are the same opinion or you're not sure. Let's just get it straight here, Mike.
that is the reason why we got curvature back, because we're correcting for something that's
So you got curvature back or you got convexity back? They can't keep it straight what they got back here. And you know what? They got no video documentation showing they did this
That's right. There's no evidence for any of this.
right way. We're just supposed to take their word for it. They're going to show us a cheesy diagram and give us the math, and that's supposed to be the proof, ladies and gentlemen. Coming from a bunch of liars and people who use deception. Let's keep on going here. The goal is to get once they do all this testing, the goal is to get a licensed surveyor to also do this. Because again, none of these people know what the hell they're doing.
With that, I can hand it over to you because, or if you're gone, are you setting up the strange truth now? You going to let everybody know how it went down?
Yeah, so that right there was sort of, a little bit about behind the curve. And we might get back to that, but let's go to the SGT part of tonight's conversation. I think you're the one that told me about this. So why don't you, if you want to, share from your perspective how you came across this and what it means to you. This is pretty big stuff. I can't wait to make the comparison between the Behind the Curve documentary and the one that SGTV is using in his podcast.
So everybody else, I was completely shocked. I was completely blown away when I put this video on and I'm like, oh, great. This guy's all into QAnon and Trump. SGT, he's verified. He's got David Weiss and Marty Leeds 33 now. He completely panders to to Marty Leeds throughout the whole interview, cuts off David. David's an Ashkenazi, right? He probably knows. Marty probably is as well. Absolute Satanists. But all of a sudden, I hear this voice. Where is it?
That out because with the infrared photography, he
can believe.
Not there. but there was this section where he was using the strain. Here it is.
Surface with 4 months of satellite data. Rito Stockley, now at the Swiss Federal Office of Meteorology and Climatology, did much of this work. Then we wrapped the flat map around a ball.
And guess where all that stuff came from? Wrapping flat maps and teaching everybody about that and how the working map would work. This came from Jason and I. This is the Strange Truth Project on SGTreport's video.
The Strange Truth Project was used.
Isn't that incredible?
It is. It really is. And I think people need to know just how incredible it is. We've actually been sitting on the biggest, most popular flat Earth documentary, most well-received across the board.
Millions.
And SGTV uses this. We don't get credit in it. They don't bring up that the creator of this documentary specifically tells people in the documentary that the AE map and model is impossible, that we're in a simulation, and that it's awake souls in the Limitless Channel that have the truth.
Yes. So what they do is there's this video that I found. This is the first one they reference. They only take half of the documentary. They forgot all the rest of that stuff that Jason just said. And SGTreport references this video first, but it has 1,786,227 views on this page alone. Jason's page is 250,000, right?
No, it's like 742,000 or something.
And there's more. There's Mikhail has like 300,000 views. There's a few other. Robbie Davidson has 2. Go ahead.
I was actually planning on going through all those tabs.
Oh, okay, take it away. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Amazing, eh?
Yeah. All right. So to rewind just a little bit, everyone. Let me get this bar out of the way. So the Strange Truth Project. Let me just show all of you how this looks. If you go to YouTube and type in the Strange Truth Project, you see here, Lucid Truth. This is David V. It's like Valadia or something like that. Tough last name to pronounce. David and I talked together multiple times, and he told me that he was going to make this, and then when it was done, he let me know. We had David on. You'll see that in just a second. We really hyped it on Beyond Flat Earth, the creator of the Strange Truth Project. We had him live. We got to ask him questions about making the video, and I took it and I added an intro and an exit on it, and I titled it The Strange Truth Project Winner, Best Truth Documentary of All Time. So I've got 743,000 views on this video. It's still like my most watched video on the channel. And Mikhail of Flat Earth Photography, who had been part of Team Yahawashi, he had been with us for a long time. That's all very well documented. He took the documentary, he took out the intro and exit and just republished David's straight video. This guy right here, I don't know why this shows up. He's got 1.7 thousand views. He puts his own intro on this. And then look at this. Mm-hmm. World's most shocking secret, full documentary.
That's crazy that he uploaded that. I don't remember him doing that personally.
I don't remember it either. 2.4 million views.
Wow. 73% likes too.
And look at what he did.
Me.
So,
oh, wow, that was a nice map.
Yeah, here we're at the 158 section. Now, if you go all the way back to the beginning,
of what the solar system is doing
not the way David's
according to
video
the science
starts.
and the speeds that I just shared.
So
I think it's pretty wild when you just stop and look at this and think about it, because we're just flying through space. We're just a big rock moving around with other big objects.
Intro that I had.
I do find it.
And
so
then
I kind of look at it like, why would I
back
want to
to
do anything to disrupt
David? But the interesting thing is he did not cut out the section where David explains. Look at this. David explains that this does not work and then tells people what does.
That the sun and moon are only about 3,000 miles away and that they're both doing circles above us. But I've discovered that that's impossible. It can't be happening because the sunrise and sunset declinations prove circling suns and moons to be impossible, especially in the southern hemisphere. Every single person on this earth who has a compass can verify this model is impossible due to the sunrise and sunsets. But I'll admit I fell for this popular flat earth model, and I'm not proud of that. But it turns out there are some compelling reasons to fall for it. First, most people are looking for answers when they discover that the earth could be flat, and they often accept the first model and its perspective that makes them look like they're setting below a horizon. I'm sorry, but that's not what I've actually observed using my camera. Plus, there's like no video of a 24-hour sun or moon anywhere online. Yeah, you'll probably be able to find a couple of videos trying to support that. Just be aware that they're all either out of focus or straight up doctored videos. And this is one of the newest models being promoted by some popular flat earth folks on YouTube. This model doesn't work for many of the same reasons, and it also no longer makes the earth flat.
That was promoted by Globebusters.
That's right. As a saddle model.
I truly believe that most of the people at the popular flat earth channels promoting either of these flat earth models are purposefully spreading disinformation. Because if they just kept searching for the truth, then they would discover contradictions and major flaws in what they're promoting. They would see very quickly that their models couldn't work with what we actually observe around us. And on top of that, I found that most of the popular flat earth model promoters, they have PayPal and Patreon accounts, and they seem to be on a mission to make money. Fortunately, there are some people who are really searching for the truth.
Hello!
Woohoo! David did such a good job. Like, I remember when I first met him, like, I was super emotional. It was something I couldn't explain. It was just like I had known him, you know, when he contacted us for the first time. And I have to say he was like one of the nicest guys that, you know, I've met online, and super talented. This video is amazing. I can't even tell everybody how impressed I was when he made this was 6 months in the planning, right? Where he was talking to us and letting us know how it was going, and we were like super excited for this. And you know, he did such a great job. I still am humbled to this day for the work that he did.
Now look at this. 2.474 million views, 19,000 thumbs up. This is on Celebrate Truth, right? That it's just.
This is maybe how Terry found us. Remember, he said he found us on Celebrate Truth.
Yeah.
Here, this is how he did it.
This is how he did it. And look at this. This is in the most popular flat earth documentary there's been. I'll show you. We'll go back to the search results. And so this is literally in
absolute most accurate size and all these things wise. And that if there's distortions, that they've pushed that out to the water. Just a quick thing about maps. If you were on a globe, if you lived on a sphere.
Something's wrong with your voice.
It is true that there would be no flat two-dimensional map.
Someone's changed your voice.
That would be accurate of the world.
Oh, really?
You don't hear that?
You're not on a globe and you're actually on a flat plane.
No.
That means that there is a flat map that is the true accurate map of the world. Mm-hmm. And so
it wasn't a high quality section.
That's what I was looking for.
Used.
But the the criteria that I was looking for was a flat 2-dimensional map that when you wrapped it onto a sphere, like in a 3D modeling program, like Blender, like we've been using, that it would look like it was a globe. Because when you look at the angles of the sunrise and the sunset in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, when you study those and you realize what's going on, it appears by looking at those angles that we would be on a globe, strictly by looking at the angles.
Yeah.
Even though that we don't see curvature anywhere. Okay.
That was Rosette, wasn't it?
So I was looking for a different kind of map.
Yep.
A flat map, but one that when it wraps up on a globe appears like it's a sphere. And that's what this map is.
This is when I was staying.
When you import this into a program like Blender and wrap it onto a sphere, you end up with something that looks just like the globe. These curved lines, the way they wrap out when you unwrap this in a 3D modeling program, you look at these edges, they fill in the gaps on the other side. In the terms of a physical reality, it's this edge.
Look at this.
We get
a long section
is really posing a huge. What would happen is you'd be in Antarctica, and following this path, this sometimes you.
There we go.
It's boggling. Yeah, it is boggling.
I don't want to do.
This
all the
is the
talking.
international date line right here. This edge. So what happens when you cross the international date line? You change your clock ahead a day or back a day, depending on which way you're going, right?
Uh-huh.
So you cross that line.
Yeah, pause it.
And then you just...
Yeah, I think we need to look at this documentary on a different channel. It sounds like Robbie's manipulated your voice, bro. That I knew right away because I've been talking to you the entire time. Your voice has been totally switched. And how satanic is that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? Can you go to another?
Here's you.
I think, can you see?
Mm-hmm.
That's regular.
So basically from the north, it takes a second for them to kick in here.
Yeah, I can see him moving.
So
yeah, there we go.
Looking south from the north, the stars spin clockwise from anywhere on the map, right? Now when we're looking north from the south, which way do you think the stars are going to go, Jay?
You weren't ready.
Counterclockwise.
Oh yeah, you're counter clockwise. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you are, right? I think everyone can see this is south, this is north.
I made it pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
East and west. I just want to make it really clear.
Really clear, super simple.
And there's a celestial axis that goes through here and an equator that goes through here, making a cross. So there's 4 sections to this flat realm. There's 4 corners. It's all biblical. And if you're looking to the east from anywhere on this map, you will see the stars rising, coming 90 degrees above you at their midpoint meridian.
Mm-hmm.
Always from anywhere on this map, you'll see them rising from the equator, from the east, and then west, they set. Everything sets to the west, returns to heaven and gains its glory, and then rises and hastens back to where it started and does it again. And
that is Enoch that you were quoting, correct?
More ad lib.
And my voice sounds off as well.
That's what he wrote and gave an account and said to tell everyone, all generations of the earth. And it was actually written, it was for a generation in the future.
Yes.
Yeah. So
but that was all true.
Look at that. We are in, let's take a look at Robbie's channel here. Let's look at his videos. Let's sort by most popular. What do you know? It is
what? Oh, Yahawashi. You know, you're too much. Fathers, you're just too much when you do these things. It's his best video.
Yes.
Wow.
By a long shot.
You know what, Jason? That should get us 2 tickets on that Flat Earth cruise. Come on, Robbie. I'm kidding. I don't want to.
Has double the amount of views that his own documentary has.
Oh, I can't laugh any harder. Oh man, so really, in Dean Odell's his church, he should have the Strange Truth documentary on the wall, not Robbie's Scientism Exposed.
Yes, number one. Look, I mean, did you see
This is a
19,000 comments? Come on. Or no,
wow.
Thumbs up. 19,000 thumbs up, 11,145 comments.
Yeah, but that's just one, man. There's more than this.
I know. Let's keep going.
But hey, thank you, Robbie. I didn't catch that, man. I'm baffled that
me.
Where is
your voice? We got to check your voice. It sounded so off.
Whatever. People can probably understand it.
They're taking your spirit out. They're trying to, though.
So this guy right here, he only got 51 views on it, but what he did is he cut out all the Christian stuff and all the simulation stuff, right? He totally scalped this thing. Here it was republished by you. YouTube didn't let the views come through.
That's okay.
Celebrate Truth. Now you see that a bunch of people actually put it into playlists and re-uploaded it, stuff like that. And what they did is they actually re-uploaded my version of it, and finally get down here to where is it? Did it disappear? Did I go past it? It was the one that you had shown before the SGT report had used. What was that guy's name? How come it's not showing up in the search? Oh, I know why. Because he didn't name it the Strange Truth Project. It should be. You know what? I've got the tab open somewhere.
Yeah, that in my opinion too, being an original YouTube truther, you know, one of the second waivers after the 9/11 waivers. Obviously, they were the first ones, but we were the Hoker. When you mirror somebody's video, you need to put a link back to their channel and the title in your title with the word mirror beside it. You don't. This guy named it "Why NASA Never Went Back to the Moon."
Right. This is what SGTV used. And see, look at it. It's been cut to 5234. And guess what they took out?
All the stuff that debunks the AE map and the simulation.
Yeah.
How many views did he get? Yeah. 1.1 million.
1.786 million. So that with Robbie's 2.4, the 745 that I got on it, and then Flat Earth Photography, forget how many he got, but the Strange Truth Project is the
$500 million
most watched Flat Earth documentary. And look at the thumbs on it, everybody. This one's got 15,000 thumbs up, 14,424 comments.
Wow. And how many? And then Robbie's had 19,000. And how many likes did you have? And Mikhail.
Mine's good, but let's see here.
I just.
Yeah, I had 8,500 to up to 1.9 down with 1,242 comments.
You know, it would just absolutely. Can you click on a part where you're talking? I just want to hear.
Sure. Go to that.
Turn
same
it up.
section.
Make sure it's turned up too, please.
They've pushed that out to the water.
No, your voice sounds funny again.
Yeah.
Just a quick thing about maps.
It's been a long time. I just excuse me.
Doesn't sound right to me, but that doesn't matter. I don't think that was David. I don't think it was satanic. I take that back. I'll always correct myself. It might, maybe that's just the way that it rendered.
Yeah,
through
it
the
could have just
programs.
been a bad Hangout connection for me.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. I don't mean to mislead anyone with my accusations.
But yeah, there's that. Oops. And then McCall's. Let's see what that has.
Yeah, sorry, he had 100 and something thousand, not 300,000. I was incorrect on that as well. But this is pushing close to 500 million views. That's crazy, you know. And I simply ask everybody on the other side of the screen, where are the real truth seekers? They just
what's going on, everybody? 124,000 views here, 2.6.
That's 19 plus 15 plus 8 plus 2. It's insane. Really, this 1,000 Facebook likes right there, people, on the screen. You see that? 1,000 Facebook likes. And you were way over that. You were like 2,500 Facebook likes, and they put it to 0.
Took them all away.
None for you. And you know, this is just what absolutely, you know, at the end of the day, I hope people really did, like, this is all I care about, that people saw it. I don't need the accolades. I don't need the views. It means nothing to me. Truly, to see all of these different people uploading the same video that David made. Yeah, play a little bit of what he's saying, you know, maybe the end or the beginning, because, you know, he did such a good job at this documentary.
Yeah, well, he's got a great, nice, soft intro to get people through a tricky, you know, trying to share not only is Earth flat, but the AE map and model does not work. And the guys at Beyond Flat Earth, the Limitless Channel and Awake Souls, do have the working correct map and model of this world. It's all in here. So it's a little bit of a hard thing to package, but he did it.
It could even make you want to distance yourself from me. But I'm still going to tell you because I love you. I should also share that what I'm going to show you, it is strange. And I think that most of what I present will challenge how you look at life. And you should probably also know that this video is infused with my faith in the scriptures and how I believe that His word is truth. But please, I am asking you to watch every single minute of this video, just so that you can look at it all and you can evaluate everything yourself. But I'm more confident about all of this stuff than ever before. And that's why I'm finally showing you this. Because it is not in my best self-interest to be vocal about any of this. Because I've got a pretty solid thing going in life right now. So I kind of look at it like, why would I want to do anything to disrupt that? I'll tell you it's because there is something burning inside of me, and it's compelled me to document this strange truth project. Also, I really feel like I just need to get my record on file. And
Amazing.
Straight up, I really want to share it with you. That's all I really have to say for now. So, let's get into it.
Nice. And let's take a look at the end too.
So amazing, man. This guy. Wow. I pray for him. I hope he's just in bliss.
Yes.
Could return to once again reign during their... So this broken world leads many Christians to believe that these are the last days. And many Christians believe the pre-tribulation rapture of the church could occur within our lifetime. Of course, many generations have believed this. I don't know if the church could be raptured in weeks, years, or decades, but I do believe it's possible in my lifetime. I pray it happens. But many Christians refuse to consider this possibility, except many people 2,000 years ago didn't believe they were living at the time of the Christ, or that it was possible for the Christ to be walking the earth during their lifetime. And many Christians living today don't understand how those people from 2,000 years ago could have been so blind. I find that interesting because so many of those same Christians living today, they don't seem to be very open to the church being raptured in their lifetime. And they don't seem to think it's possible that Yahawashi could return to once again.
It uses the true name of the creator in the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's really huge. That means 500 million people were exposed to that.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Reign during their generation. But put aside the talk of last days.
And
the truth is that any
footage.
day could be our last day due to any unexpected event or accident. Yes, that sounds cliche,
Clouds
but it's
behind the
truth.
sun.
And that's why I believe.
Well, remember, he's got his
P900 footage
of the solar eclipse. That
yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, his footage was like really the best I saw.
It blew everybody out of the water. I was so thankful when he came on and shared it. Right, I just couldn't believe how he was able to do that so well.
He nailed it. I think the whole way this thing came together was probably divinely inspired.
I have to agree with you, brother. It's truly spirit led, and as well the reach that it had.
Mm-hmm.
We must embrace our common salvation. And I believe Yahawah's begging all of us to look to him. He wants to say that he knew us before meeting face to face at the time of our death. So straight up, I really want to help serve him. Because I believe every strange truth that I've shared here can serve as a gateway for people to come to the truth about a creator. And I believe that path leads to the truth about Yahawashi, our Savior. That is why I'm touching on this again right now. Just in case you weren't aware, historical scholars, Christian and non-Christian, generally agree that Yahawashi lived at the time the scriptures say he lived. And those scholars also agree he was crucified and buried. What they don't agree on is whether he truly rose from the dead and if the eyewitness testimony can be trusted and if he was really the son of the Creator. But there is general agreement that he lived, he was crucified, and he was buried. So that means Yahawashi was either Yahawah in human form or he was a complete nutcase. Because if he was not really the son of Yahawah, then he was just some lunatic, insane guy who proclaimed to be our Savior. I'm sorry, but he can't have made those claims and still be a good person spreading a moral message. It's all or none here. So that's why I believe that this video may be the most important thing that I've ever done. Because if these strange truths are right, then this stuff could wake up people and help them move mountains of deception. These strange truths could reveal that we were created and that Yahawah put us here for a reason. Imagine if everyone learned that knowledge. Imagine if everyone knew that when they died, they'd have to literally meet their maker. Do you think that people would make different life choices with that knowledge? Do you think that people would treat themselves, others, and everything on earth better? So what do you do next if you're open to this being the truth? Maybe you'll watch this video again to determine what you want to research first. Maybe you'll observe the celestial bodies. Maybe you'll test for curvature across the earth. Maybe you'll record and look for clouds behind the sun.
Ooh! That's a big one.
Maybe you'll open a Bible and read it for the first time, or maybe the first time in a long time. Maybe you'll call upon the name of Yahawashi to be saved right now. And then maybe you'll ask him to lead you to the next step. No matter what, I challenge you to observe your surroundings. Look up, look around, challenge what you've been taught. Research what doesn't make sense, because I think you'll be surprised at what you find. But maybe you'll have a different take on what I've shared here. Maybe we could talk about those differences. Maybe we could talk about the other strange things that didn't make it into this video. Maybe we could work together and unite to change this place into something better, because maybe we're capable of doing anything that we can imagine. And maybe you'll be open to sharing the strange truth. Maybe you'll sit down with your significant other and show them this video. Or maybe you'll send this video to another friend to get their opinion, so that you can talk about it with someone you trust. But whether or not you end up believing, accepting, or sharing this video, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you because you watched this entire video, and I sincerely appreciate you doing that. I am so grateful for you just being open to watching this. So thank you for honoring my request, and straight up, thank you for being special. Thank you for being significant. Okay, so I don't really know the best way to end this thing, because this Strange Truth project, it has consumed so much of my life for the past year. And it's still kind of crazy when I stop and think about all of this, because it's still hard for me to process at times, and I actually believe all of this. So that obviously means that I also believe I'll have to meet my Creator someday. And that means that I'll have to answer him if he asks me, did you help share the truth? I pray that I've done my due diligence. I pray that I am doing what's right. Yeah, I pray.
Wow. Amazing video.
Isn't that great?
Look at that sunset.
Is it shrinking in and going away due to perspective?
No, it's right there in front of those clouds.
Yeah. You can see the ones that it cut through.
Wow. It's basically disappearing into nothing right there.
Just at the horizon, and it just shrinks into, there's a little bit of green around the edge. Gone.
And that was above the horizon too. It just disappeared into the sky there. That was amazing.
It was above the horizon.
That was, money shot. And look what happens here, everybody. This is a true seeker. One of the greatest that we knew on our channels, man. One of the most loving. He kind of took a back seat because of all the fighting. He didn't. I thought your email was in there too.
I was playing it from Flat Earth Photography's version. He cut all that out.
Oh, okay. Because our emails were in there too.
Yeah, that was on giving him the view, right?
Yeah, his video had your email as well. Right? I remember it being in there.
He must have trimmed it out.
But wow, man, it's really incredible to see that that many people, witness to all that. Yahawah, Yahawashi, the map, the model, the way that it works, everything, the stars.
Yeah, so SGTV is the one that he plays it 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times in here. One from the guy that cut everything out, but he plays. See here, he's playing it actually from David's version. So David's version does have all of the shout outs to Ronnie and I in it. It has all the simulation stuff. It has the Yahawashi in it. And then there's the other versions that have been trimmed.
I'm so thankful that SGTreport did that. I was like, what? And the look at the 2 faces. You should zoom in for everybody and
well, did you show your comment?
I think I briefed it, but I could show it again now.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Look at that. It's getting 3,800 views per hour right now on SGTreport. Unfortunately, they're not telling people about the section where the creator of the documentary, tells everybody that AE map and model is wrong. He's sitting there with David Weiss and Marty Leeds 33, right?
Yep. What was the title of that? Oh. What was the title?
The SGTV?
Yeah.
They wouldn't lie to us about this.
I just had it too. Here it is. So when I saw this, I was like blown away, and I said, SGTreport. My question is, why would you have DITRH, a man who lies, hates Christians, and is an Ashkenazi, on to talk about Yahawashi's creation, when the documentary you shared was made by Christians? I would know. I'm in the documentary. There are so many lies that David tried to pass off on you, Sean. The Earth is flat, but the AE map and model has been debunked and is disinformation put out by the UN. Please, there is so much more than these gatekeepers will ever share with you, SGT. Thank you so very much for sharing the Strange Truth Project. Yahawah bless you. Hashtag Team Yahawashi. I don't think he published this comment, but
it's published now.
I got to imagine that he watched that entire documentary because he had 3 different sections. And so if we zoom in on Earth's face and this Marty Leeds guy.
My part was integrating the surface, clouds, and oceans to match people's expectations of how Earth looks from space. That became the famous blue marble. Okay, I know I already touched on this earlier, but I just keep wondering, why doesn't NASA just deploy a rover to the moon, equipped with a camera at least comparable to my Nikon P900? Then they would have it on the moon's surface all the time, because they could take continuous images of the entire Earth.
Yeah, he just nailed it. David just nailed it. They don't say
rover on the moon.
David just comes in. Listen, let's hear him. Speed it up a little bit. Being used under fair use. 107 section.
Yeah, just quickly on the moon, if you think about it, the same side of the moon, according to Helio, a nonsensical model, faces the Earth. So putting a rover on the moon facing Earth, they could stream the Earth spinning in space 24 hours a day. They can get corporate sponsors to pay for the entire thing because it would be the most watched live stream ever. But in reality,
no way he's Jewish. Come on. Is he talking about getting corporate sponsors for a rover on the moon?
No, he's just got to be sick to himself that right now he's being put to task on the largest, the most viewed, most highly liked documentary on flat Earth that actually says that the AE map model that they promote. His team is the Behind the Curve team.
Oh yeah.
And then the Strange Truth Project is Team Yahawashi.
Well put.
The only pictures we've ever gotten from space, the best camera they put up there is a 4-megapixel camera. Okay, 4 megapixels, right? I mean, that's just beyond ridiculous. As far as the blue marble, if you look at the blue marble, there's many breakdowns of it. There's clone stamped clouds. That's the first thing you notice.
Good proof.
The proportions of the continent of the USA are different than the picture from 2002. Look at the 2002 and 2012 image of Earth, and the United States is over double the size in one of them with the same size sphere painting.
Hey, Marty, can I ask you something?
See, right away, SGC cuts him right off. And he does this throughout the entire podcast. Right? Listen, everybody.
Is over double the size in one of them with the same size sphere painting.
Hey, Marty, can I ask you something? And you can weigh in on any of that, but I think I got this from one of your videos. It might have been your video, De-occulting NASA. I'm not sure.
So, yeah, Marty does all kinds of satanic stuff. But, you know, he keeps going back to it, to David, to the video, right?
Share.
You'll notice they never say sphere. They always say circle. And circle, like our circles can be flat.
This is from a 1988 NASA document called Derivation and Definition of a Linear Aircraft Model. Credit to Lucid Truth YouTube channel. The name of the video, The Strange Truth Project. Listen to this.
That's awesome. I can't believe he shared this. I'm just blown away.
And here's something interesting that I found at NASA's website. It's a NASA reference publication from the late 1980s about the derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model.
And this is what Dean Odell like ran with, right? And then found like 30 other copies. David wasn't the first either to find it, right?
There's a lot of math.
But he explained it so well.
30, the first sentence.
Yeah, he just put it into a documentary and use it as one of his pieces of evidence.
If any pilot I've ever met has had the training required to nose down the aircraft every certain amount of miles.
You don't see these two using this stuff, though. Marty Leeds just talks about pi and math. His name's literally Marty Leeds 33.
Right. He's 33-degree Freemason.
Yeah. I don't even think he lives in the U.S. I think he lives somewhere tropical. I don't know. Doesn't look like winter here, but who knows? There's a lot of traders that live outside of the country of the United States, but they're so-called truthers, like KJ Osborne, the scariest movie ever, and this guy. They're both very, very similar. They're very sneaky. Same with David Weiss. He's sneaky.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's the guy that makes all the CGI of a shrinking sun.
Yeah, that's right. And it's funny. They go to this, like,
have you seen the video of the privately launched little rocket that went straight up at this unimaginable speed and then just stopped? You guys know which video I'm talking about?
Okay, why? I don't understand how SGTreport isn't smart enough to realize that what was deployed there was an anti-spin chute that popped out of the nose of the rocket. It didn't hit anything. It was purposely deployed. This is so easy to research. They tell you.
It's so that you can get actual footage, because otherwise it would be nothing but spinning the whole time, right?
It was reaching the top of its path, and that thing's time to go off to what would you call that? Recess? No.
Well, I mean, it's this was so heavily used in flat Earth for a long time. ODD was all over this. And I mean, come on, people, use your common sense. If the dome's up there, I mean, we'd be able to see the dome from the ground.
It's not.
Have you seen the video of the privately launched little rocket that went straight up at this unimaginable speed and then just stopped? You guys know which video I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah.
Marty, can you explain that to me? I mean, let's just go.
Go back.
Sure. Let's just go back to where we began. Psalm 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
That just means this is really easy, right? If you put scripture upon scripture, line upon line, the firmament showeth his handiwork. His handiwork is the line that stretches out across the sky. It's called the ecliptic. And the pictures, they tell a story. Yahawah's story. The heavens declare.
Not only that, it's the King James Version that really introduced the word firmament. It's a bad translation.
That's right. But the main point of it is so that you understand it's not talking about a dome either way. It's talking about the picture that the stars create in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's the handiwork, the story of creation.
Because I wasn't a KJV Bible reader for the most part, all growing up, I had never heard the word firmament until Flat Earth came along. And right away they connected it to a dome. You know, it's got firmament, right? Firmament. It's a dome.
Yeah.
That's right away they made that wizardry connection between the two. And that's the reason why the word was mistranslated in the KJV version, because King James was a Freemason. The plan was hatched already that long ago.
I still get people. There's only one name that thou shalt be saved by. You know, it's not Yahawashi. They're holding the King James Version Bible as the perfect word of God, and it states in the scriptures that they'll send the scripture at me that states that God will protect His word, right? But the truth is, the fulfillment of the Apocrypha being brought back is how the Creator kept the word, right? And people, it's so simple.
In general, the KJV is a decent translation, except when you get into the heavenly bodies, because it was part of the Freemason hoax to roll out this AE map and model.
Yeah, we smashed it. And it looks like 500 million people saw it. So maybe people are watching the documentary on Netflix and just mentally comparing it to this one.
Well, that's what they need to do. You know, the two leaders, so-called leaders of the popular flat Earth, the globe busters, Jaron and Bob, both in the documentary, providing globers with all the evidence they need to believe that they're on a spinning globe.
Oh.
And let me play this for you guys, and we can just go back and talk about this. Here it is. It is from Lucid Truth, the Strange Truth Project.
Okay, so
go back to it again.
Now is a crude mock-up that I created that is going to try and represent the California to Japan scenario with a curved ocean. And let's say you have someone standing on the beach in California, and then you have someone standing all the way over there on the other side of the globe in Japan. Let's zoom in on what the person in California would see, right? They're looking around, they see nothing but a flat land. If they were to use their water level, they would see it's flat, everything's flat. And then if we look at the other side, the person standing on Japan, on the edge, looking out into the Pacific Ocean, they could also take their water level, and they would see that it's level. They would see that it looks nothing but flat when looking out. So you have these two people, and they're looking out, they both think that they're at the top of this ball. So what's really happening throughout this ocean, throughout this body of water? Can you take a water level to everywhere and it's going to be level? Yeah, of course you know that you could. But what if this is not what's really happening? What if this is what's really happening? And the two people standing on both continents are actually just at water level as well. Wouldn't that be easier to comprehend and understand? Because water always finds its level.
I just don't think that we can underestimate the power of those words. Water always finds its level.
And that right there, and you know what's so funny? You don't ever get that from David Weiss. You never get any of these clear, concise, laid down. He showed exactly how they faked the globe by wrapping images to a sphere, right? Then he went on to, what was the next evidence that he just showed? Was it something to do with NASA? Yeah, the derivation and the mock-up simulators are practicing over a stationary flat Earth. And then he brings up that water always finds its level. This is something that the globe earthers cannot debunk. This is verifiable.
Dearth is the guy that creates the shrinking sun or growing sun fake footage, CGI, to promote the idea that the AE map and model is true, that the sun starts out as a tiny little dot and then gets larger and is huge over your head and turns into a tiny dot again. He literally has that CGI on his channel.
And not only is it an AE circling sun map, it's completely debunked every winter as the sun goes south and it rises and sets completely off of the AE map, moving up and then back around. He then thinks that there was older suns that kept spiraling out further, and that's where the aliens are. They're further out with an older sun.
Yeah, that hangout was one of the stupidest ones I've ever heard.
Yeah, that I'm not kidding, guys. I bet you if I find it, DRTRH, I bet you if we look into images, I bet you I can find you the map that he proposes. And it is a doozy. It's not just your regular AE map. Don't make me look stupid now. Oh, well, there it is. Right there. See this map right here?
Yep.
That's it. I wonder if we have it in the video. Oh, this doesn't take me to the video? What is this? Pinterest? Someone put this on Pinterest? Oh, it was me. I didn't even know I had Pinterest.
Leaving your marks everywhere.
Oh, no, this is just a flat earth photography video where he debunks David because he shows that what David's doing is taking time-lapse photography, right?
Yeah, time-lapse will give you the effect of a shrinking sun, but it's a person's got to be really devious to be passing it off like it's actually a shrinking sun.
They won't even let me play it. Unbelievable, man. But so yeah, no, I could not believe that SGTreport put this video up. I was just absolutely super happy, super thankful. And then the research that you just brought to the table tonight, comparing the two, the Netflix documentary as opposed to the Strange Truth Project, it's just overwhelming.
It really is overwhelming. Like 500 million views with all those thumbs up, so many positive comments. And then what YouTube did was they directed all the traffic to these COINTEL shield channels so that the people that got in the comments never got led anywhere.
Oh, okay, continue that. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, that's what they did. They funneled the traffic for the Strange Truth Project to these other channels.
Yep.
They took all the Facebook likes away on mine, and it just got hidden. But it still got 742,000 views on it. But these other channels got it. So these comment sections that have like 14,000 comments and 11,000 comments, the people behind the channel, the shills, the moderators that they have, their team, anybody that came in looking for the truth, wanting to know more, just got misdirected into the AE map and model, which was literally shouted out as being false and impossible in the documentary. So, oh, people, how do you let that happen to you? I don't understand.
Elias brings up that Marty Leeds and Rosette both live in Hawaii. There's more than just that. Bob and Jaron also. Well, I know Bob. Yeah, Jaron, I think as well. They both frequent Hawaii all the time. And I know that there's major CIA there, major disinformation coming out of Hawaii. That is for sure. Someone else at the beginning here brought up, didn't you guys buy views? Yeah, we did. We literally broke the buying views thing. Well, for some people, I think if you're on a network, like with Monograph or Jaron, who is in a network with David Weiss or Robbie Davidson, then you could still buy views. But when you do it as just a regular person, so what we did was we knew that everybody was doing it. So we said, instead of donating to us, if you like one of our videos, here's a way you could donate $5 or $10 to the video. and we showed people how to boost our videos in the process of doing anything we possibly could to get views and to share our content in more places. We didn't lie and hide about it. We literally showed other people, if you have a YouTube channel and you need to get views, here are the sites that supposedly do it. And we went through it. We did it on purpose, completely out in the open. We didn't lie. We weren't like some snakes trying to boost our channels. We were trying to reach the views that we bought, said real people, right? And we did get a lot of responses from those views, but after so long, they took them all away.
Yeah, and now you can't even do it anymore. Well, the prices like went tenfold.
First they went tenfold, and then that wasn't enough. They had to start rolling our videos back. So we don't have those views anymore.
No, the YouTube actually takes them away.
That's correct. And if you bought subs, apparently YouTube takes them away too. Now that's the thing. We all got accused of buying subs. You could tell my channel hasn't bought any. I've had the same flat curve for years. Like you can tell. And your video that video, The Strange Truth Project, super boosted your video. You got 250,000 views. So you ended up going up to 17,000 subscribers thanks to that video alone.
Yeah, right? I went from like 4 to 17 because of that video.
Right. And you bought 10,000 views, right?
No,
100,000.
100,000 views. But they all got taken away. I spent total in the entire time that I was putting money on buying views, maybe $150 total.
Yeah, we were buying $5, $10 things. We were just showing people this is how you can do it. It's funny that's what the shills bring up, right? They don't bring up any of the content that we've done. The fact that we've never taken a dime for anything. We don't care about money. That's like,
well, I'm a business guy that understands marketing and that you have to pay for placement. And that's what the sites offered, was pay for placement.
Yeah. Subtle Infinity, I called him out as a racist and all this stuff. And then Owen Benjamin came out the next day and started being racist. So I kind of understand where he's coming from to a certain point. But, that whole Subtle Infinity and Bro Sanchez and
staged.
They have their own kind of thing going. And it's not only just Subtle Infinity, Elias. Everybody has a gag. They won't say they'll never share our channels with anybody. And you know what? We're blessed by people doing that. Those are like rewards in heaven when people are hiding Yahawashi's truth.
Not only that, when a person finally catches on to who's sharing the truth and who's not, you can clearly see the channels that avoid saying our names so intentionally, so vehemently. And so you get confirmation. You can go through and pick off all the satanic shill channels, just bingo, bango, bungo.
Yeah. His Subtle Infinity's done a few videos now that were mind control-y, spiritual, new agey. And I called him out on it and he blocked me. Right. And he's trying to act like he doesn't know who we are to Elias. That kind of stuff is just, it shows their character. Every single move we make is all being witnessed, if not by a human, by angels in heaven. And they report to Yahawashi. It's all documented. And that's, me and Jason, we were so filled with the spirit back then when we were, when we found the map, when we learned how to wrap it to the sphere, when we were doing all the research, and when David V was a part of it. And, I find that because we both asked the creator to fulfill his will, to lead us, and we constantly do, we've been given roles where, I guess I could liken it to, I played hockey my whole life and I was a center and a scorer. But when I became an adult in my late 20s, I was on a minor professional men's team. And I actually had to be the guy that picked up the third line and the fourth line. But I also got first line opportunities, but I had to pass the puck to the shooter. And I accepted my defensive role. I was the guy we made it to the championship game. And I told the guy that got me on the team, because he lost the year before because their best line scored in overtime, I said, if you had me on the team, I would have stopped them And you could have jumped over the boards after I was on the ice and scored. That guy that got me on the team died. He died in an accident during the season. And we got to the finals in overtime. I stopped their best line. And then his brother jumped on the ice and scored the winning goal. And these are how I can see spiritual things working in my life, right? Jay Dreamers asks, what is New Agey exactly? He was sharing like some speech where they were talking about all this interconnectability and raising up the vibration levels. And you know all the stuff, Jay. You don't need me to explain New Age spirituality.
Yeah. Well, we're strict Bible guys. We stick with the Bible. I went through the New Age Jay Dreamers. I know all about it. And yeah, so I can share people the warning. It's an empty road. It doesn't lead to salvation. If the path that you're on doesn't take you to the creator of this world and tell you the only name by which you may be saved, you need to find a better path. So, but keep going, guy. Keep going. I like you.
I watch Jay's channel.
Yeah.
You know, I don't agree with everything that he says, but I find he's very talented. He's a really good storyteller. He's one of the best storytellers, I have to say. And that's an absolute compliment because he talks effortlessly and has done a lot of research on a lot of topics. Mm-hmm. And I do enjoy his channel very much.
When I think of storyteller, the first visual image that I get is Jay Dreamers. So
he's good.
Yep.
Much better than ODD. He's much better. I like ODD too, even though he hates the creator and everything. I still like ODD and his work and all those guys over there, Red Pill Revolution. And, you know, I think deep down inside, I know the creator talks to each of us individually. And I want to believe in my heart that your genuine intents are probably the most important thing. And you know what I've learned from the New Age stuff is being in the moment is the most important thing that we have. We can't really be in the past or in the future. We can only be happy and do what we can in truth in the moment. And that was what you taught me, Jay. And it was probably the best thing I could learn from that.
Well, the New Agers have some truth. I mean, like every COINTEL, every shill, they have to have some truth. If it's all lies and deception, nobody bites. So that is a huge truth within the New Age movement that they sort of carry around as one of their truths, that be in the moment thing. And yeah, it's huge. It's
you
can't do anything in the past and you can't do anything in the future. Right now is the only time you can do something.
Yeah, you taught me that. And I continue to hear, I listened to this other guy with that. We did that background check on, that guy that was talking about the simulation and everything. The other guy that was in the video, I've listened to him a couple of times. And he's saying the same things as you. He did the New Age path and he thought he was going to get to this point where he said he would be able to visualize the heartbeat of everything in reality. And he said that wasn't it. He said it never happened. He said there was glimpses of it. And he said that's when he realized that just living in the now was the most important thing that he could do. And Jay Dreamers has like a group chat where you can pay $4.99 like Owen Benjamin has. I really don't blame Jay Dreamers for doing that. He's not selling scriptures. He's not trying to lead people off astray on an AE map. I have to say that about Jay Dreamers. He does what he does. He's got if you're interested in like old fossil stuff, and I think Jay's knowledge on the elves and that whole, I have to say it might be the descendants of the fallen angels, but Jay does a really good job of bringing that to you unbiasedly, where most Christians would be attacking the content. Jay just puts it out there the way that it is. And I could probably tell you that a lot of things have been probably switched, where they've taken like the fire of Yahawashi and they've turned it into something that would be evil. So Jay Dreamers is probably on the path to the truth as well.
Yeah, well, entertainment is something that people generally are willing to pay for, to see a good movie, to read, a good book. And like we said, Jay is incredible with his stories.
And his
And
presentation as well with the OBS. He does a great job with that as well.
So if people want to pay for story time, I understand why they would want to. Absolutely.
Yeah. I wish him success too with his viewers and his community, because it seems like that's something I see Owen Benjamin doing, Jay Dreamers doing. We do it too. We have our community of the people that show up here 3 times a week to talk to us. So I'm not going to go around here and talk crap about people that don't deserve it. See, the funny thing is, you totally called out Nathan Thompson tonight and exposed him, but I put up his debate to give him credit for some good things that he did, and that's something that nobody ever wants to talk about when it comes to me and you. It's just always we're the nasty Christians calling out Satanists, but nobody ever actually takes a moment to think that Jason and I are trying to teach people that we live in this spiritual realm that you could liken to a simulation, and we take things we don't hold back. Jason wanted to put everything out there as fast as we could, and we just hope that's contagious. And yeah, anyone can comment on Jay's videos or watch them. He just has the chat for his members only. And with the trolls and with the way certain things are, like I said, I don't blame Jay. The only reason why I don't monetize my stuff is because it's scriptural, and I don't feel that is the path for me. But I don't condemn for other people unless you're selling scriptures like Skiba or Nathan Robertson, right? I forgot his name.
Roberts, yeah.
That's great. That's the person I have a problem with. And people, you're not a real Christian. You're giving Jay Dreamers a pass and you're coming down on Christians, but I don't find it the same.
So the being on Facebook now, one of the things that I find is one of the first weapons that the Glover shills use is to say, you're doing this for money. You're doing this for money. Well, no, never have. So it's also nice to be able to take away that accusation, because they really do undermine the credibility of a channel as soon as they're doing it for money. And of course, all the popular AE map and model Freemasonic, Rosicrucian, Knights Templar shills, don't forget the CIA and Mossad, they all seriously do it for money. Seriously do it for money. Let's see. Let me share one thing quick here. Facebook, I'm new to this. I did it a long time ago, but all right, bear with me. So I'm starting a new flat earth group. And because, of course, I don't expect Nathan Thompson to probably allow me to stay in the group that he has too much longer. And it's a COINTEL shill operation, as is all the other, look at these other, the real flat earth versus this one's absolutely horrendous, everybody. No, that's
a good one.
That's the good one. that's the good one. Where is it?
The flat earth versus globe earth official. No, yeah, is it
official earth? It's official something. Not that one.
No, I think it's if you type it in at the top, it might be. It's like Nathan Thompson's title.
It's gotta be. But this one.
Yeah, this is it. Flat Earth discussion. Yep.
Oops. It's not what I wanted.
Jay says mahalo, and we say haya. That means like the most highest power, right? Instead of amen, because that's like satanic, I think, right?
Yeah, so the admin on this group, where do you find the admin? Where's the admin? Where's the admin on this? Sorry, everyone. Members.
I'm having fun. I actually feel this is the best I've felt in like 4 days, man. This is great.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I drank a coffee and I haven't been drinking coffee. Maybe that's what made me feel better.
Admin and moderator. So what I've been finding is that these are all globers. Like you go into the group and you absolutely get bashed by the admins.
Yeah.
You get smashed by them.
Well, they try, not me and you, but
they're horrible because they just pound on you, and if whatever you say, they can just take it away. Just get rid of it.
Yeah. You should put the link in the chat. That way people in the future, if they want to click on it, can join.
So this group's going to be different than the other one. I'm going to have I'll retitle this or make a new one. I'm going to have a super private group that is just for Team Yahawashi members strictly. You have to identify as Team Yahawashi to be a part of that group. But this one's going to be really open, super open. And what it is it's going to be no lies, no deception. So we're going to only post links in this group that are truthful. So what we're going to want to have is all the flat earth proofs, water at rest, airplanes, all the good flat earth stuff that when we first got into flat earth were the evidences that we use that earth is flat. But this is going to be no globe propaganda and no AE map propaganda. Only truth about earth being flat.
You got to put the clip up from the debate for sure, your video. Right? That's got a bunch of good ones.
Yeah, all that. The river proof, the strange truth project, everything that's all truth, we'll put in there. And if we find COINTEL information that has truth in it and it has lies, we'll just chop out the good stuff and we'll only post the truth.
Yeah. We maybe re-upload the video, Strange Earth Project, and then boost the post in Facebook. You know, that might be something worth doing. I know I was getting requests from people that they wanted to boost some stuff, and that might be. David V did such a good job in that documentary.
So there's finally going to be a flat earth group that doesn't have any lies and deception in it. And this will be my focus to try to grow this group. And from this group, hopefully people will be joining the private group that's Team Yahawashi only. That's the plan.
Yep. We got Beyond Flat Earth too. That'll stay going, but this one needs to be where we direct the traffic.
Yeah.
Because with me, Facebook is I really want everyone to be super protected and ask the creator to protect them when they're on there, because they do a lot of mind control with the feeds. I stay away from the home button on Facebook. I find they repeat things. They put colors and images and advertising in your face that is demonic. So personally, I think it's great that you're starting this group because I'll be more active on Facebook. I think you'll force me to.
I know the admin, you have to pay attention to if somebody's trying to post lies.
Yeah. And Derek as well. He's a super strong fighter as well as Ilias. But, you know, we need to see, we're hoping to have as many people as possible helping share. Like I said, I still can't believe Bob and Jaron are still roaming the flat earth like nothing happened. It's almost like Stockholm syndrome with their audience.
Well, no, their audience are Freemasons, Rosicrucians, Knights Templars, the CIA, Mossad. that is who supports them.
And I guess, you know, the evidence stands right now. The Flat Earth documentary that Mark put together with Daniel Clark compared to the Strange Truth Project, it's not even a close competition. There's 500 million views.
All positive, but well, not all positive, but extremely positive responses in the face of heliocentrism. But when it comes to behind the curve, anybody that watches that walks away believing that they're on a spinning earth. And that the flat earthers proved it for them.
That's so bad. It really is.
So bad.
And now you have Nathan Thompson saying if anybody he's calling it anti-Semitic, right? He's basically saying that the documentary is Semitic. And if you try to boycott it, you'll be kicked out of his group.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe he's acting just like the Ashkenazi.
Yeah, it's something else. But I can't wait to pop that clip out of this hangout and post it tomorrow and try to spread it all over Facebook. So please join in the fight, everyone. Get involved, share truth, fight against lies.
Hiya.
And where did you hear this, brother?
Only
Beyond Flat Earth.